Those who have joined, you people write your name in the chat box because the LMS is still not up. So I will give you the attendance from this chat box only. Okay. So in the last class, is this whiteboard visible?
समर कब से बाकी हो रहा है और बाबूजी से मुलाकात उसके मशहूर हो गए भाई अगर कोई और लड़के बचे हो तो बुला देना वरना बड़ा लड़का हो
So in the last class, we have studied up to this statistical testing concept and the various steps involved in statistical testing, and we have studied about the software quality and what are the attributes that uh, like contribute in determining the software quality. And then we have studies about the Mackall's quality factors. Now today we will start with the topic software quality management system. Okay. Okay, wait for a minute. Okay. So, uh, any quality management system or any quality system, this is the principle of methodology used by any organization in a way that the organization will ensure that the products they develop, they have the desired quality. So any organization need to maintain a quality management system so that the end product will have the desired quality. This thing they need to ensure. Now, a quality system is the responsibility of the organization as a whole, right? Because every organization, even if every organization has a separate quality department to perform several quality system activities, but it needs full support of the entire organization, because the people who are designing or the people who are coding, if they are not conscious about the quality, then they won't be delivering quality code. And if quality code is not delivered, quality testing may not be delivered. If quality testing may not be delivered, maybe quality product also may not be delivered. So in a whole, in order to maintain the quality of any product, we need cooperation or managing of this quality. It is the responsibility of the entire organization. But yes, the managers and the top level management, they need to ensure that the lower level developers, test team, whatever there is, employees, they maintain the protocol, they maintain the guidelines of this quality assurance and quality control. Okay. So what needs to be done? First of all, 1 minute. Okay. So auditing of the projects is there to check if the processes have been followed or not. Then the different product metrics are collected and they are analyzed in order to check that if the quality goals are being like satisfied or not. Then review of this quality system is done in order to check. Then some standards, procedures, guidelines they are developed, and after everything is done, reports are produced in order to summarize that the effectiveness of this quality system. So a good quality system, as we all know, it must be documented, it must be well documented. Now how is this evaluation of quality system is happening? Quality systems they have evolved over the last few decades. So quality control it focuses. Okay. So if possible, take the screenshot of this definition, that what do we exactly mean when we say that we are maintaining quality. So the quality control process, it not only focuses on like detecting what are the defects in my product, but also there should be a well defined process associated with it, so that the defects can be eliminated as well, or the defects can be reduced as well, so so that our end product absorption rate can be high. So this is the concept about quality control. Quality control is involved, or it is made up of two processes. The first one is finding out the defects, and the second one is eliminating the detected defects. So this is the process of quality control. Now I will show the diagram how this evaluation of quality system is done. Let me just take a screenshot of the number of attendees. Okay. Uh, so how is this quality control thing is done? As we all know that the quality control it aims at correcting the causes of the errors and not just rejecting the defective products. So the next important term which was there in the entire quality system is the quality assurance principle, the development of the quality assurance principles. The basic basis of any modern quality assurance is that if an organization's processes are good and they are followed rigorously, then the products are bound to be of good quality. That means that suppose there are हम लोग जब छोटे थे तो our parents used to tell us rise early from bed, then you do a certain type of exercises for a few minutes, then you sit, have your cup of milk or tea, then you sit for your study, you study for 2 hours, then take a break for 10 minutes, then again study. So like this they used to give us a discipline chart, so that if we followed, it is generally seen that if this chart is being followed throughout the day, that student gets good marks, because the students in a process it helps them to learn better, and they can recapitulate better, they can remember better. So in a way it will give or it will fetch good marks for the student if the student leads a disciplined life. So like that only, if the organization processes are good, that is the processes and the procedures, the guidelines, these are defined, they are good and they are followed rigorously like any disciplined manner, the employees are following it, then the end products they are bound to be of good quality. So first the inspections are done, then the quality controls are done. Quality controls mean they will first detect what are the defective products and all that, and they will eliminate that, and then they will give you the quality assurance. And as a whole, they give the total quality management of the entire system. So one thing is that this modern quality assurance paradigm it includes guidance for recognizing, defining, analyzing and improving the production process. So they are aiming at 1 minute. They are aiming at okay. Oh, there must be some problem. My oh no, it's okay. They are aiming at recognizing, defining, analyzing and improving the production process, right? So these are the things which this quality assurance part it focuses on. So this QA part it focuses on these things, okay? And this total quality management, this thing, this total quality management, they will see that the processes followed by an organization they continuously need to be improved to different measurement procedures, because TQM it does what, it goes a step further than this quality assurance and they aims at continuous process involved in improvement. Okay. So TQM aims at continuous process improvement, and quality assurance aims at like they define, analyze, improve, they try to recognize the production process, and we have just studied what our quality control do. So all these things together they form this entire quality system. So this TQM, beyond the documenting process, they try to optimize the design also. Okay, so this is the entire concept about how the quality uh, system is done, starting from the inspection till the total quality management, how the quality control is related, how the quality assurance is, which part it works on, and how this total quality management, which part is works on. So this is the entire picture of evolution of quality system over the few decades. Okay, is there any difficulty in understanding the topics said up to now? Okay, so we will move on to the next topic, that is what is product metrics and what is process metrics. Okay, so product metrics, they will help to measure, and process metrics, they will help to measure that. Okay, so all the modern products, they emphasize on these two matrices. One will, they will measure the product metrics, that is the characteristics of the product, and one will measure the process metrics, that is how the process is performing. So suppose if I want to give you an example of product metrics, then suppose uh, how many persons are required per month to develop that project, or how many lines of code are there in my project. So these are the characteristics of the project. So suppose how much effort is required to develop it, how much months are required to develop the product, what are the time complexity of the algorithm, all these are characteristics related to the product being developed, such as lines of code, involvement of how many persons, how many time taken, time complexity of algorithms, then different function point matrices and all. So these are product metrics. And if I talk about process metrics, suppose average number of defects found per hour of inspection, then average defect correction time, then average number of failures detected during testing per line of code, then number of defects per line of code in the development process. So these are all which will measure our process, how the process is performing. If I have more errors, then obviously my process is not performing that much good. So detecting the errors, how many errors are there, so these are related to process metrics. And the line number of lines of code, number of people involved, number of time involved, time complexity of algorithms, these are involved with product metrics. So is the difference between process metrics and product metrics clear? Anyone, is the difference with product metrics and process metrics, is it clear? Okay. Now we will move on to the next thing, that is the famous thing which we have heard of, That is the ISO certification. Now, ISO stands for International Standards Organization, right? ISO, International Standards Organization. It is more or less a club of 63 countries, average approx 63 countries, and they were established in order to formulate some standards, in order to formulate and foster or implement some standards. This standards or this standardization is published in 19,000 9,000 series. They are published in this 9,000 series in the year approximately in 1987. Okay. So this is the concept of ISO. 63 countries came together. They formulated some standardization norms. These standardization norms are established and they are given this name ISO 9000. And this ISO 9000 is given worldwide in order to like see that whether the standards have been made or not. Okay. So ISO is not just a single country has developed a standard. No, this standard is developed by all the countries coming together so that internationally this can be a good standard. Suppose I am making a product, suppose Samsung, I am making Samsung in a suppose in Germany. Suppose Samsung is produced, it's a Germany company. It is produced in Germany, and but sitting in India, we are also using that Samsung company mobiles. So obviously they are exported from that country to this country. But suppose if it is country specific, suppose the standards are maintained at the country level, and when I am using this mobile in India, I am not getting that much efficiency because they can say, no, this mobile I have produced for Germany, but when it has gone to India, some different standards are there. So we can't give that much product validation to this Indian people. But it should not be the case. For this reason, all the countries, it is an international standardization so that one product when it is developed in one country, it can be standardized to be used in all the other countries with the same features, with the same ease, with the same reliability, with the same trust, and with the same performance. So the international standardization is required for all the products. It cannot be country specific, it cannot be region specific. Okay. So what is this ISO 9000 certification? We all see, right? It ISO this much certified company. We see that or we look for that also. When we search for few companies, we look for that. Is that company ISO certified? So what are the benefits or what is the concept behind this ISO certified thing? So this ISO 9000 certification, they will serve as what? They will serve as a reference of contract between the different parties, right? So suppose a company who is awarding a development contract, he they can form his opinion about the possible vendor performance. So if I want to buy or I want to be a client of some company, and I am seeing that that company is ISO certified one, so obviously I will have an image that this company is a good company, because since it is certified, inspection is done, and after the inspection the certification is given. That means the processes are inspected, the quality of the products in the earlier stage also they are already inspected, so this certification is given. And once a certification is given to a company, they will always try to maintain at that level, at least if not improve, they at least won't try to get demotivated also. They won't be trying that my image and my goodwill goes down. So This is the performance based things, that is on whether the vendor has obtained this ISO 9000 certificate or not. It gives an image that whether we can trust on that vendor or not. It may happen that some organization we are without this certification also is trustworthy. That is not the case. But if this certification is there, then worldwide they have a good image, they have a good goodwill, and the people who wish to buy from them and so on, they can rely on that company. Seeing the certification, they can rely on that company. Okay. So this ISO 9000 standard, they will specify the guidelines for maintaining a quality system. Okay. So the quality system, as we have already studied, the quality system of an organization, it applies and it means that all its activities are related to the product or services, quality of the product, quality of the service. So quality term, it itself refers, or it itself is associated with products and services which the company will give, or which the company will provide. So this ISO standard, they address both the operational aspect as well as the organizational aspect. So ISO standard, they address both the operational aspect as well as the organizational aspect. Fine. So these operational aspects mean the process aspects. We have just talked about the process metrics few minutes earlier. So these process metrics, they check. And what is these organizational aspects? These are the aspects such as whether the responsibility of the organization is okay, whether the reporting of the organization are okay. So these are the organizational aspects. And when one company is being ISO certified, this ISO will, they have guidelines for maintaining this quality system such that the operational aspect of the organization and the organizational aspect, both all these things are met and all these things are reviewed and they are checked and they are inspected. After that only this certification will be there. Okay. So if I want to summarize this ISO 9000 one second. Yeah. This ISO 9000 specify, they do what? Suppose a set of recommendations are there for high quality product development, a set of guidelines are there for the production process, but it is not directly related about the product. One thing we need to understand, that they set a guidelines that whether the operational, whether the organizational standards are met or not. They set some standards to see whether the organization is following that standard or not. So the process metrics are checked, but it cannot always directly say whether the end product is 100% viable or 100% good or not, because it only checks that whether the standards or the procedures that organization is following, whether they are met or not. But it means that if it is seen that if one organization maintains good procedures, generally the end products are good, but it cannot guarantee that the end product will always be good. This direct concern or direct guarantee that cannot give this ISO certification process. This direct cannot, it cannot give. Likewise, you are studying, the following what an obedient good student will do. You are following his pattern, you are waking up early, you are doing some yoga, you are having your food on time, you are not wasting your time using mobile, you are sitting, you are studying, all the procedures are good. Then I may say that yeah, this is he will get good marks, this boy may achieve something in future because he is following some good procedures. So as the end result, he may have good result. but it may happen on the day of the exam you black out, or on the day of the exam your health is not well, so it you won't be able to perform on that paper, and as a result your result will be bad. So it doesn't guarantee that the product is good or not, but it definitely guarantees that whether some standard procedures, some standard good guidelines have been followed or not throughout the product development. And it is seen in case of any development procedures, with it, whether it is software development, hardware development, anything, if good quality standards and procedures are followed, it is assumed that as the end product or the byproduct which we will have, whether it is a service or a product, we will have a good product. So it is assumed, but it doesn't guarantee. Okay, so there is a slight difference in understanding the concept of ISO certification. Anything that is ISO certified doesn't mean that it is the best, but it may mean that yes, it is at least not bad because it is good. Okay, so this ISO 9000, it is a series of three standards. First one is ISO 9001, then there is ISO 9002, then there is ISO 9003. Okay, so these are the three standards for ISO 9000 series. Now, how does these standards are formed? They are formed that based on the fact that if a proper process is followed for any production, then good quality products are bound to follow automatically. It is seen that a student who studies throughout the year, he generally, he 99.9% cases he secures good marks, and a student who does not study throughout the year, he definitely secures less marks. It is generally seen. So ISO 9000 series will only say that if proper process is followed for any production, then good quality products are bound to follow automatically. But again, it we cannot say for sure that yes, it will happen, but chances are there that for likely to happen. Okay, is there any difficulty in understanding, yes or no? Have you understood the concepts? Yes or
Yes,
no?
ma'am.
Any? Okay, fine. Okay. So first one is the ISO 9001. So this standards, it applies to the organizations where they are involved in design, involved in development, involved in production, involved in servicing of goods. Okay. So ISO 9001 is the standard which is applicable for most of the software development organizations, because these are the procedures that are involved in any software development organizations: design, development, production, servicing, that is maintenance. Okay, the next one is ISO 9002. This standard, it applies to those organizations which do not design products but are involved in production, that is they do not design products but are involved in production. For example, suppose there is a steel manufacturing company, there is a car manufacturing industry. They sometimes buy the raw product, and they sometimes buy the designs from external sources, and they are only involved in the manufacturing those products. Suppose steel or car manufacturing industry. They buy the design obviously from some company. Suppose one car manufacturing unit is there. They won't be designing in that unit, right? The design will be done by separately. So from the external separate source, they will get the design, they will get the raw product, and they will only do the manufacturing of those products, right? So 9002 is applicable for manufacturing industries, and these are not applicable for the software development industries. Okay, and the last one is ISO 9003. So these applies to those organizations that those are involved only in installation and testing of products. Okay, so there are some companies who only deals with installation process, who only deals with testing of process. I will give you an example. Suppose there is a telecom company, and those companies, suppose they take the they take suppose they provide in Airtel, Vodafone, they themselves do not install, right? They give this task to some other vendor company. They does this installation of towers for them. They does this installation and testing of the products from them. So what tower Airtel is giving, Vodafone is giving, those employees directly, they are not maintaining and installing those towers. Installation is done by some separate third party vendors. This is the procedure in telecom sector. So these third party vendors, they are not involved in any manufacturing process, they are not involved in any development process. So they are only involved in the installation process and in the testing of products. So these are the examples where the ISO 9003 certification will be there. So this was is the type of the companies in which different ISO standards are applied as and when follows. This is 9001, 9002, 9003. 9001 is Software Development Organization, 9002 stands for Manufacturing Units, and 9003 stands for